Baby, you're not obsessed. You're neurologically kidnapped. Come sit on this couch and listen to me. Because before we go any further, I need you to release the shame in your chest. You're not weak. You're not dumb. You're not dramatic. You're not stuck because you love him so much. You're stuck because your brain was taken hostage, and you've been trying to negotiate with the kidnapper while holding back tears. That's limerence. It's not romantic. It's not meant to be. It's not a spiritual sign. It is your mind glitching like an iPhone with too many tabs open. And baby, that man? He is the tab. Not the destiny, not the soulmate, not the future. Just the tab you can't close because the app froze. Let me break it all the way down. Part 1. What limerence really is, not the pretty version Google tells you. You know how everyone says limerence is obsessive infatuation? Cute. Here's the hood translation. Limerence is when your brain decides to completely lose its mind over a man who couldn't even correctly install a trash bag. It's the emotional crack cocaine your brain cooks up when someone gives you inconsistent attention, someone activates your attachment wounds, someone gives you highs and lows, someone mirrors your needs, someone shows potential they never deliver, someone becomes your mental fidget spinner. Limerence is obsession dipped in anxiety, sprinkled with delusion, frosted in denial. And I'm not judging you. I lived it, survived it, and now I'm handing you the survival manual. Because limerence doesn't come from love, it comes from uncertainty, trauma, unmet emotional needs, inconsistency, fantasy, withdrawal, imagination. Limerence is your brain trying to solve a puzzle that was never meant to be solved, because the picture on the box doesn't match the pieces you were given. Part 2. How limerence gets inside you, like a virus with a soft voice. Baby, limerence doesn't walk into your life like a red flag holding a sign saying, "Hey girl, I'm about to ruin your productivity, your appetite, and your ability to focus." No, it sneaks in with charm, with mystery, with attention, with dopamine, with "hey beautiful" voice notes, with trauma aligning like matching tattoos. Limerence starts in these tiny invisible ways. 1. He made you feel special. Not regular special. Special. Like nobody has ever seen me like this special. 2. He mirrored your desires. Everything you said you wanted, he said he wanted too. Coincidence? No, baby. It was emotional identity theft. 3. He activated your imagination. You weren't obsessed with him. You were obsessed with the future you imagined with him. Limerence thrives on imagination, not reality. 4. He gave attention in unpredictable doses. One day he's showering you with affection. Next day he's colder than a Costco freezer. Congrats, that's how casinos get people addicted. 5. Your brain associated him with feeling alive. Because the highs were high, and the lows? Well, you cried on your steering wheel more than once. But in your mind, that passion felt like soul connection. Girl, no. It was a cortisol roller coaster. Part 3. Baby, let me tell you about your brain, the gangster you didn't know you had. The brain loves patterns, loves rewards, loves predictability. But when a man gives you unpredictable affection, your brain goes, "Oh, bet. That means I need to work harder for love." No, honey. That means he's inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, or still texting his ex. But your brain? It hit the dopamine pipe. Limerence is literally dopamine plus uncertainty plus fantasy equals addiction. Your brain created tunnels that said, if he texts me, I'll feel okay again. If he apologizes, I can breathe again. If he comes back, everything will make sense. You're not in love, you're in withdrawal. Just like someone detoxing from nicotine. Except instead of a cigarette, it's a man who can't communicate unless he's half sober and full of guilt. Part 4. Limerence symptoms. The raw, petty, accurate version. Let me describe you real quick, sis. Don't fight me. You replay conversations he doesn't even remember. You've memorized the tone he used on August 12th at 3:14 p.m. Meanwhile, he forgot the entire day. Your stomach drops every time your phone rings. Even if it's Domino's, you suddenly feel hope. You create imaginary scenarios of him coming back right. He's imagining nothing. You take crumbs and call them meals. Good morning from him feels like a Valentine's gift. Baby, no. You stalk his social media like it's your side job. CA-level research. You could solve crimes with this energy. You can't focus. Productivity evaporates. Your laundry? Still in the washer. That email you were meant to send? Drafted but never delivered. But his memory? Clear as day. You fantasize about the relationship instead of facing the truth. You're addicted to the movie, not the man. Your self-esteem rises and falls with his behavior. If he texts, I'm beautiful. If he's silent, I'm unlovable. Let's pause right here. You were never the problem. His inconsistency was the trigger. Part 5. What creates limerence in women like us? The spiritual T. We are deep feelers. We love hard. We attach energetically. We fall in love with potential, spirit, softness, depth. Women like us get limerence because 1. We bond spiritually, not casually. We don't talk. We merge auras. 2. We see the best in people, even when the worst is standing right there. We date his potential, not his behavior. 3. We love from the soul, not from insecurity. But insecure men love soul lovers. We feed voids we didn't break. 4. We're natural healers, so broken men feel like projects. You're not a rehab center, sweetheart. 5. Childhood wounds get activated, especially abandonment fear, rejection fear, fear of being replaced, fear of not being chosen. Limerence feeds off wounds we never deserved. Part 6. The reason you can't let go. This one will hurt, but it's true. You're not attached to him. You're attached to the version of him he pretended to be, the fantasy you created, the apologies you never got, the closure you never received, the emotional safety you thought he represented, the potential you saw, the validation he gave, the maybe one day. You're grieving the idea of him, not him. Because the real him, he's not consistent, not emotionally safe, not protective of your heart, not aligned with your future, not spiritually awakened enough to love someone like you. Limerence keeps you worshiping the illusion while ignoring the evidence. Part 7. Limerence makes you delusional in the most adorable, tragic way. Yes, it makes you delusional, but not in a clown way, in a heartbroken genius way. Because women in limerence don't imagine random things. They imagine what was promised, what was implied, what was suggested, what was emotionally hinted at. You're not crazy. You're not Trey's the recently lefted. What you seemly do anymore. Limerence keep you life. The results that you men and especially about it. You're going to scheduled when the ground in the world. What was promised? What was suggested? What was including the world? You're going to get Laskin. He was inconsistent. And inconsistency breeds imagination. Part 8. Limerence feels like love, but it's not love. Let me prove it. Love makes you calm. Limerence makes you anxious. Love feels safe. Limerence feels like withdrawal. Love is mutual. Limerence is one-sided. Love is steady. Limerence is chaotic. Love is peace. Limerence is a puzzle. Your heart wasn't in love. Your nervous system was in survival mode. Part 9. The truth about him. You're gonna sigh hard right here. If he really was your soulmate, you wouldn't feel tortured. If he really was your person, you wouldn't be crying more than laughing. If he really was your forever, you wouldn't be carrying the entire emotional weight alone. If he was really meant for you, you wouldn't need to watch videos explaining limerence. Let that sink in. Part 10. How to break limerence. Big Sister Edition. 1. Accept the truth, not the fantasy. He is who he showed you, not who you imagined. 2. Go no contact or detox contact. Silence is medicine. Contact is poison. 3. Refuse crumbs. You are a whole meal. Good morning is not effort. Consistency is. 4. Reconnect with you. Your interests, your joy, your future, your self-worth. You were you before him. 5. Stop negotiating with pain. If it hurts more than it heals, it's not love, it's limerence. 6. Replace the what if with the hell no. What if he changes? What if he grows? What if he comes back? Baby, what if you outgrow him? 7. Rebuild your identity outside of his presence. You are more than a woman who loved wrong. 8. Let your spirit detach with intention. Say it. I release the illusion. I reclaim my energy. I return to myself. Your soul will listen. Part 11. The moment limerence breaks, and why it's the sweetest freedom. One day, without warning, you'll wake up and feel lighter, uninterested, calm, detached, indifferent. His text won't make you jump. His silence won't hurt. His presence won't fluster you. His memory won't sting. Because the limerence breaks not when he leaves your life, but when you return to yourself. Part 12. The spiritual reason you experienced limerence. This is not punishment. This is awakening. You needed a deeper understanding of your emotional wounds, clarity about your attachment style, wisdom about your worth, a closed door to redirect you, a lesson that turns into purpose, strength for the woman you are becoming. Sometimes God will let a man break your heart just so you stop letting men like him near your heart. You were not meant to stay stuck. You were meant to evolve. Limerence wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal you. Conclusion. Baby, you're not crazy. You're healing from a love that never existed. Limerence is the brain's attempt to fix a wound through fantasy, but fantasy cannot fix what reality destroyed. You're not obsessed. You're not weak. You're not stupid. You're not broken. You are a woman whose heart loved deeply and whose brain got tangled in the wrong person. But you will rise. You will reclaim yourself. You will walk away wiser. You will fall in love fully one day, without limerence, without confusion, without pain. Because the version of you on the other side of limerence, she doesn't settle, she doesn't chase, she doesn't cling, she doesn't beg, she doesn't hope for bare minimum, she doesn't fall for inconsistency dressed as romance. She loves from power, she loves with clarity, she loves without losing herself. And that woman? Oh, baby, she's coming.